Hey kids, Mrs. Medeiros here to introduce this video. What I've done is compiled 4 videos from Mr. Sams and Mr. Bergman, my favorite flipped classroom teachers. Okay, you've seen them before, you'll see them once in a while. It seems really silly to me to reinvent the wheel so that you guys can have me talking to you when they do an excellent job and I can be better used in the classroom teaching you guys stuff. Anyway, when they tell you that dimensional analysis is important, they're not kidding. They really mean it. In my classroom, you're going to be using it all the time. We've probably already used it a little bit. So here I am to tell you how important it is, and here they are to give you some samples.
Okay, Mr. Sams,
Yep.
we are going to get into the math part of chemistry.
Well, let's go.
This has got a lot of math, and so this is all about what we call dimensional analysis.
Yeah, guys, you're going to use this every single day
Oh my
for the
gosh,
rest
this is
of
so
the year.
important.
Yes, do not blow this off. Do not think, oh, I'm just going to skip it. No,
If there was a podcast that you needed to watch,
this is it.
this and the next one
Yep.
are the 2 key podcasts to understand almost for the year. These are
Yep.
the 2 most important podcasts of this unit.
Yes.
If not even the year. 'Cause
Right,
they're so foundational.
We're going to teach you a way to do math the way we want you to do math
Yeah,
in this class.
which may not be the way that your math teacher has taught you. So there are other ways to do these problems, but you need to use our method because as we get to more complex chemistry problems,
This is the way to do it.
This is the way to do it.
Right.
All right. There are a number of rules. I'm going to just kind of have them come up with the screen, and you need to pause
Hit
and
pause.
write these down.
Write them down.
All right, you should have written all these down. So the key thing is that everything is done as a fraction. Hello, my pen is in the wrong place. Everything's done as a fraction. Everything has a unit. What's that mean, Mr. Sams?
No naked numbers.
Naked numbers. What does that mean?
Everything has to have a unit of measurement
A
on
unit of measurement. Arrange the conversion factors such that the units cancel,
it. Okay?
and then the top number gets multiplied and the bottom number gets
Divided.
We're just going to do a zillion examples, and once you get there, you'll be fine. Oh, before we do the examples, we should talk about something. You have to understand what the different conversions are. And this is a huge list of conversions, but I want to highlight a few important ones
Yeah.
in the metric system. This one right here, which is kilo, which means the 1,000. You can and then we can just jump down, and we can jump down to
Centi.
centi, which is 1/100th.
Yep.
Milli
Milli.
is 1,000th. And while we're at it, micro is kind of a weird one
Yeah.
in that you have a funny looking U.
Yeah.
It's actually a Greek letter
Yeah.
deal. And then
U.
That's a millionth. And a nano is a billionth.
Yep.
And that's pretty much the only ones you need to worry about.
Yeah.
So let's just dive in and let's
All right, let's do
some
some.
conversions. So I have 77 kilograms. Rule number 1 is
Write down what you know and
As a fraction.
put it over 1.
all right, so you want to write it as a fraction. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by. Now we use these like railroad tracks.
Yep.
Now what I need to do is I need to look at my conversion factor and see if I can find something that relates kilograms and pounds. What am I going from?
Kilograms to grams.
Kilograms to grams. Now I look on my conversion table. It's not there, Mr.
Not there,
Simmons.
no.
What am I going to do?
You can go to the previous one.
Yeah, or the previous one.
There it is.
Now, here's the thing: is there's 1,000. Now, what is this going to be?
There's 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram.
Grams in 1 kilogram.
Right. That's how many of the base
or
units
1 kilo,
are
but
in.
this happens to be grams. We could have
Right.
kiloliters or
Right.
kilo.
There's 1,000 base units in a kilo. Something.
So
There's 1,000.
Now, what I like to do is I like to put on the bottom of this fraction the unit. So I'm going to put kg. I
Right.
look at the letters first.
Right. Why'd you put kg in the bottom?
Because I want the kgs to cancel.
Oh yeah.
And the kgs are here on the top. Now they're on the bottom here. And then I'm going to put the g on the top.
Right. Now the G is what you're looking for. That's what you're trying to get.
Yeah.
That one always goes on the top.
That is exactly right. And of course, 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams.
Right.
You know, you might have written this 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram, right?
So we turn that into a fraction.
And so what I do now, of course, is I then just take them, and you take numbers, next rule, numbers on the top are
Yep.
multiplied.
Would you mind canceling
numbers
those
on the
units for
bottom.
me?
Yeah, what happens with the kilograms, of course, cancel, and I'm left with
Yeah,
gram
you're left
units.
with grams. All right,
And
so
that would be 77 times 1,000, which would be 77,000. I don't even need a calculator.
yeah, we're not gonna do that in the calculator.
Grams.
But we can 77 times 1,000, because the thousand's on the top and the 77's on the top,
Yeah.
so we multiply 77,000.
That's pretty easy.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do another.
Okay, our next problem is we do milliliters to liters. All right, so I write down what I know as a fraction over 1, 0.0087 milliliters over 1, fraction over 1, right? And now I need to convert milliliters to liters. Now I see that I have milliliters on the top, so in the next fraction, the milliliters are going to go on the bottom. And is there a conversion milliliters to liter?
There is. We
So
can look
I
on
can
the
just-
metric conversion table.
Now milli means what?
1/1000.
1/1000th.
Meaning there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter.
Now, one way to memorize, once you know the thousand part, you need to realize the bigger unit will get the 1, the
Yep.
smaller unit will get the other number, 1,000, maybe 10,
Yep.
a million, or whatever it happens to be.
All right.
So now, in this case, in this reaction, or this problem, the 1,000 is on the bottom.
Right.
So,
So we have
numbers
to
on the
divide
bottom
it.
are divided.
So
Numbers on top are times. So you're going to
0.0087
okay.
divided by
1,000.
1,000. Now notice I'm not doing anything with the ones, because if you multiply or divide anything by 1,
Yep. Ignore it. It's the same
in
number
itself. So
Yeah,
we don't
algebra.
worry about the ones. So it's 8.7 e -6 in my calculator.
So 8.7 times 10 to the minus 6 was it?
Yep, -6.
6, and that would be what? You
Liter-
actually
cancel the
milliliters
milliliters.
cancel, and I end up with
Liters.
liters. That's not too bad, is it?
No.
All right, let's look at our next one. We want to go from millimoles to moles. So I have 4.5 mmol.
But Mr. Bergman, I haven't learned about moles yet.
But you know what milli means, Mr. Sam.
Yes, it's true.
And so if I go millimoles to moles, now
There are 1,000 milliliters in a liter,
so it'll be 1,000 millimoles in a mole.
In a mole, that
So
makes
I can
sense.
say millimoles on the bottom, so I got to get that to cancel, and I'm going to convert to moles. And milli, we just did this a minute ago, milli, right? The bigger unit is the mole unit, milli is the small unit, so that's 1,000.
Yep, so
it's 4.5.
4.5
The
divided
thousands
by-
on the bottom, so you would divide. The millimoles cancel.
Yep, 0.0045, or you could say 4.5 times 10 to the -3rd. Either way.
Which is also 4.5 times 10 to the minus 3rd moles. Same answer.
Yep.
All right. Okay. 12 yards to feet. Okay.
That
All right.
doesn't look like an SI unit to me.
Well, it isn't yet.
No, yeah.
So 12
it works
yards.
it works for non-SI stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I actually use this in the grocery store, and I use this in the hardware store.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm planning projects, or if I'm shopping and I want to get the best value,
All
I use
the
dimensional
time.
analysis all the time.
I do too. My wife, who is a nurse, or she used to be a nurse, she would use this all the time to calculate dosages of children
Oh,
to make
yeah.
sure that she would not overdose the children or underdose them, because that would have been very bad.
Yeah.
It could kill them. Okay, so notice I put yards. I'm going to put yards on the bottom again.
Okay,
because
because the yards are there, yeah.
And I want to go to feet. Now,
Yep.
yards to feet.
Yeah.
That was the one you may not know.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not on the conversion table, but I happen to know what that number is. Maybe you know what that
Yep.
number is.
3 feet in a yard.
So there are 3 feet in 1 yard.
Yep.
Yard's a bigger unit. So they're both on top, so 12 times 3.
12 times
Mr.
3.
Sams.
I'm putting it in the calculator.
That'd be
To
36
36 feet. Again, just doing what our
Yards
students are doing.
Cancel. Okay, yeah. All right, how about this? Ooh, we got a strange one here. 1.5 times 10 to the 5th. We got significant.
Grams to pounds.
Times 10 to the 5th G. That's the unit for grams.
Yeah, I actually know this conversion.
I do too. And
But you're old, you know all about
grams
that
to
stuff.
pounds, right? So I put the grams. Now I'm going to go back to my chart here. Grams to pounds. Here it is right here.
Yep.
1 pound is 450. What are you just going to call it?
454.
454 grams is 1 gram. Weighs a little bit, just a tiny amount.
Yeah,
So-
I always think of a gram as a paperclip.
Yep, paperclip's
and a
a
kilogram, well, when I learned it in 1st grade or 4th grade or whenever it was, my teacher brought out a roller skate, and I'll never forget it. Mrs. Johnson had the paperclip, gram, the roller skate, kilogram, and we all passed it around the room.
And felt the difference.
Felt the difference.
Now the 454 is in the bottom, so
Right.
you're going to need to cancel
All right,
the grams.
let's put this in the calculator. 1.5 second EE, 5,
Divided by 454.
divided by 454. Gives us 330.3964758
And that would be pounds.
pounds.
So that's correct, right?
No.
What's wrong?
Well,
I think we have too many
We have too
significant
many
digits.
significant
So let's
figures.
appropriately round this. You have
Yes.
2 significant digits in the 1.5 number,
Yep.
and 454 has 3 significant
so our answer
digits.
needs 2 significant figures.
330.
330 it is.
330 pounds. Now that 0 right here is not
Not
significant.
significant. Now
I
it's
do
part
not-
of the number. It's not 33.
Right.
It's 330, but that 0 is not significant.
That's correct.
All right.
All right, let's do a couple more. 32 centimeters to feet. So 32, actually 0.4 centimeters over 1. Now I want to convert from centimeters to feet.
Right.
And actually, I'm going to do this in a different way because
Yeah,
I want
let's
to do a multi.
two steps here.
All right, this is a dimensional analysis practice. Let's go back here. So
2.54 centimeters and 1 inch.
So we know this is inches, and then inches in a foot we know. I know there's another way to do this, guys, using this fraction, but we want to do a multi-step problem because you need to see that. Okay, so I'm going to go centimeters, put the unit centimeters. So actually I'm going to go from centimeters to inches, and then inches to feet. So centimeters to inches.
Now notice that little chart, the kind of flow chart with the arrows he made up at the top. I always come up with a game plan. What am I going to convert to what first? And then I go look for the conversions.
Yeah, that's indeed. So, and I know that there are 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch, or you get that from the table. I happen to have it memorized. You probably we just saw that.
Yep.
And now I can make another
more railroad
fraction.
track.
And I see inches are here on the top, so I'm going to put inches on the bottom, and I'm going to put feet on the top. And we did that just a minute ago.
Yep.
There was, of course, 12 inches in 1 foot. Now my inches cancel, and I'm left with feet.
Okay.
Now, this is a very important thing to understand. We have two numbers, and they're both on the bottom. So on your calculator, you're going to push divide, divide.
Right, so 32.4 divided by 2.54
divided
divided
by
by 12. Do not hit the multiply sign. Okay, 1.062992.126.
I'll stop there. All right.
3 sig figs.
I see 3 sig figs. Now, wait a second, Mr. Sams. There's 12 inches in a foot. Isn't that 2 sig figs?
That is an exact number.
Yeah.
So there are exactly 12 inches in 1 foot. So
12.0000000. So the key thing is when you're rounding, folks, actually, in terms of sig figs.
Basically based on your initial measurement.
Your first measurement.
Yeah, don't let your conversion
So I'm
factors
going to round that
limit
to
your
3
sig figs.
digits, which would be the 6, the 1.06. That 2 right there does not round that. So that'll be 1.06 feet.
Guys, All right, guys, don't make the mistake of hitting the times button. Let me show you what not to do. Don't go 32.4 divided by 2.54 times 12. Okay, that doesn't work. It works if you use parentheses, but just don't do it. Okay, you get the wrong answer.
Are divided.
Right, 32.4 divided by 2.54 divided by 12.
And
That's how you put it in.
If you got a problem like this, with it has 30 of these things, and you got 20 of them that are on the bottom, you divide.
Right. Multiply on the top,
And every number
divide the bottom.
That's the rule. Look at the rules. You wrote down the rules. I think we got a couple more examples. All right,
Yep.
we go inches to miles. Ooh, this is an interesting one. So I've got 5.5 times 10 to the 5th inches over 1. And I want to convert to miles. Now, I don't think I know how many inches are in a mile.
No, but I know there's 12 inches in a foot.
So I can go from inches to feet.
And I know how many feet are in a mile
And
because
feet
we live
to
in
miles.
Colorado.
Yeah.
We all know
Well,
that.
now it's just an easy. We're just
Yeah.
going to do the math here.
All right.
So I'm going to say inches. Notice I'm putting the letters first, the units. Inches to feet. Well, we know that. There's 12 inches in a foot. And the inches cancel. And now I just make another fraction. Now the feet's on the top, so go feet to miles.
There, miles on the top.
And so there's 5,280. Denver's called the mile high city.
Step number 13 on the capital.
There you go.
All right.
And feet to feet.
Okay.
So now, this is both on the bottom. So let's
They are.
divide,
Okay,
divide.
so 5.5, second EE.
Don't forget the
5. We're not using the times. We're not using the 10. We're not using the caret. We're second EE. 5.5, second EE. 5.
E.
Divided by 12.
Divide.
Divided by
Divide.
5,280. Enter. 8.68. No, 8.7. 2 sig figs.
8.68, and that would be miles, or we can only keep 2 sig figs because of this, so it would be 8.7 miles.
All right.
Okay. All right, now let's do a nasty one. All right, how about years to minutes?
It looks
So
fun.
4.5 times 10 to the minus 5th
I'm going to let you write. I'm going to go get a drink of water.
Years.
I'll be right back.
over 1, and I want to convert that to minutes. Now I need to go plan here. So I need to go from years to, I'll probably go to days, right? Days to hours, and then hours to minutes. So this is going to have an additional fraction. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go years to days. Okay, so if you remember, there's 364? 65
You're not done yet?
days in a year.
I'll come back.
All right. Years cancel. And then I'm going to go from days to hours. So I can say a day versus an hour. Notice how I do the letters first. Of course, we know there's 24 hours in one day. Days cancel now. And now I go from hours to minutes. hours down the bottom, and then minutes. And of course we know there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, and the hours cancel, and that will give me the answer. So now Mr. Sam's
you
can
got
type it in
set
the
up
calc-
finally?
I do.
All right, what do we got?
4.5 double E
Second E.
negative 5
Negative 5.
times 365
It's 365.
times 24
Times 24.
times 60.
Times 60. And we don't have to do anything with ones. 23.652 is our calculator answer.
So that'd be minutes.
Minutes.
Now, is that the correct answer?
No.
Round
We want 2 significant
2.
figures.
So we're going to just call that 24 minutes. Okay, so the key to multidimensional problems, the key to multidimensional problems is to do one dimension
At a time.
at a time.
So work on the top dimension first, and then work on the bottom dimension.
So let's do an example here.
Okay.
So here's
that
Mr.
you?
Sam's. Yep, or Mr. Sam's. This is
That's
Mr.
not me.
Not you. This is me, Mr.
That's
Bergman.
Mr. Bergman.
And I am traveling very rapidly in triathlon. So I'm in a triathlon right here. So let's say that I started at 17.2. Now,
Miles per hour. That's the number of miles you went in 1 hour.
all right, miles per 1 hour.
Right, now, because miles per hour is miles over hours. Never keep the units, a complex unit, in the numerator together. Always split it up.
What I often see students do is they'll write 17.2 miles slashy hour. There are
No
no
slashies.
slashies. Do not do the slashy thing. So what I want to do, actually we didn't ask what the question is, I want to convert this to meters per second. I have a slash, I know, but I want to convert it to meters per second. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a fraction, and I'm just going to do the math here.
Yeah.
So if I do miles,
But I don't know the conversion from miles per hour to meters per second.
I don't either. So I'm going to go from, I'm going to ignore hour for just a moment. Leave it right there. I'm going to go from miles, and now I'm going to go to something. How am I going to go miles?
Can we go miles to meters?
Well,
Do
let's
we have
see.
that?
No, I've got miles to
Miles
kilometers.
to kilometers, or we can go miles to feet, and then no, miles to kilometers, and yeah, let's go miles to kilometers.
So actually, I'm going to go from miles to kilometers,
Yep, and
and
then
kilometers to meters. That's kind of like a little road map.
Okay.
So I can go miles to kilometers. Now let's go back and look at the number on the chart here.
1.609.
There's 1.609 kilometers in 1 mile.
Okay.
My miles cancel. Now I just keep on going on my
Right.
fraction.
Now, we can go kilometers to meters, that's easy.
I can go kilometers to meters. Now that's
Yeah.
not on my conversion
No,
table. So
but
if I
that's
go
a metric
back to the
thing.
conversion table, no kilometers to meter.
No.
You're going to have to use the fact that
1,000 meters.
there's 1,000 meters
In one,
kilometer.
kilometer.
And the kilometer cancels.
All right, now I'm in meters on the top.
That's what I want. I want
Yeah.
meters on top,
That's
and I want
good.
seconds on the
So
bottom.
meters per hour, but that's not what we want. We want
Meters per second.
per second. So we need that hour to turn into something
I
else.
just keep going. I don't
Yeah.
stop. And I see out. Now, this is something before this moment, whenever we've
Yes.
done a problem, we've always canceled by putting a number on the bottom. We're going to put a number on the top because the rule isn't bottom,
It's opposite.
opposite. So ours is on the bottom, and I'm going to put
Hours
minutes.
to minute.
And of course, 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. Don't mix that up, by the way. It's easy to sometimes think there's 60 hours in a
Now,
minute.
some people panic at this point because they don't want to cancel things out that aren't touching, but that's okay.
The hours is on the bottom.
Right.
The hours is on the top.
It doesn't matter where they are in the problem.
That's correct.
You can cancel a top to a bottom anywhere in the problem.
And now I do one more again, and I will
Yes.
just say I have the minutes on the
Minutes.
bottom. I'll put minutes on the top, and I'll put seconds on the bottom. There is 60 seconds in 1 minute.
You
Now
almost
this
put
is.
60 minutes in 1 second.
I know I didn't
I
do
saw
that.
it.
I was testing you.
Yeah.
All right, now this is an interesting problem because we have 3 numbers on the top and 2 on the bottom. The bottom ones are divide.
Yep.
The top ones are times. So,
Yep.
Mr. Sams, you got the
I will
calculator?
punch in the calculator. Why don't you cancel those units out while I do that? I got 17.2 times 1.609
Times 1,000.
times 1,000 divided by 60 divided by 60. Anything in the top gets a times, anything in the bottom gets a divided. Enter. 7, well, how many sig figs do we want?
3.
3. So I got 7.69
Meters per second.
meters per second.
So on average, you know, as going uphill, I would go slower and downhill faster. On average, on that bicycle, I was traveling 7.69 meters every second. So that's pretty fast, actually.
Yeah.
For 100 miles.
Yeah.
In big races, I'll try and travel 21, 22 miles an hour.
Wow.
But on training rides, you can't ever do that, especially with that elevation profile. Oh my gosh. Yeah, most races aren't quite that hard. All right, let's do another one. Okay. Now this is, by the way, a sample of gold over here.
Yeah.
So gold has a density of 19.3 grams per milliliter. So 19.3 grams. No slashies over 1 milliliter. Now, our problems will have slashies,
Yeah.
but you
You
need
have
to
to
write
unslashy them.
unslashy them. That's a good way.
Unslashy.
So I need to convert
Your
grams
thermometer.
to pounds and milliliters to liter.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, if I had a liter of gold, like a liter bottle of pop, not a 2 liter, half of one
Right.
of those, right? How much would it weigh in pounds? It'd be an interesting question.
If you
Actually.
got an Nalgene bottle, that's 1 liter. That's a lot of gold.
That'd be, well, let's see
How
how, much
much
it
that
weighs.
would- how much would that
we'll
weigh?
find out.
Yeah.
All right, so 19.3 grams per 1 milliliter.
All
Let's
right.
do the
I know.
mass first.
Okay.
So I got a G on the top, so
Yep.
I'll put a G on the bottom.
Yep.
I'm going to go pound.
Yeah.
Now, we've got to look at our
To our
conversion
table.
table.
Somewhere.
We're forward to
Where
our
did we put
conversion.
it?
There it is. Pounds to grams. That's that 454 number. I guess,
454
right?
grams in 1 pound.
So there's 454 grams in 1 pound.
Okay.
The G's
So
cancel.
we're in
Well,
pounds.
we got pounds per milliliter.
Pounds per milliliter. We don't want pounds per milliliter. We want pounds per liter.
Now the milliliters on the bottom. Rule goes on that
Top.
and then
Liter.
There's 1,000.
1,000.
Now you got to know that. If you don't know that, you got to figure that out. And the milliliters cancel.
Yep.
So Mr. Sams, what do we come up with there?
19.3
Divided by.
divided by 454 times 1,000.
What do you get?
42.5.
42.5 pounds per liter.
That's
Wow.
My son weighs about 42 pounds.
He's not a liter. He's a lot
No,
bigger
he's a
than
lot
liter.
bigger than that.
But gold is one of the most dense things that exists, so this
Yeah.
is not totally surprising to me. So a liter of gold would weigh 42 pounds.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is.
That's quite a bit. Okay, a couple more examples. All right, 44 centimeters cubed to inches. Now we need to kind of talk
Yeah.
this through.
Now this is not a slashy split it up thing.
Yeah,
This is
hard.
no.
Oh, all right.
It's not hard.
All right, now here I want to show you something. What is a centimeter cubed?
That's a centimeter times centimeter times centimeter.
Right, it's a box, right?
Right.
That's a centimeter by centimeter by centimeter, right?
Yeah.
And so instead of writing it centimeter cubed, I'm going to say cm, cm, cm.
Which is the same thing. We just expanded it out a little bit.
Yeah, it's the expando version.
Expando.
So now-
no slashies and expando.
So now I just need to convert centimeters to inches 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
So if we look at our conversion table, centimeters to inches. Here it is. 2.54 centimeters is 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put centimeters to inch. And we know there's 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch.
Okay.
Crosses off center. Now, am I done?
No, you got 2 more centimeters.
I've got to
get rid of.
cancel out all 3 centimeters. I have to do this 3 times. So I'll say 2.54 centimeters is 1 inch.
So we're converting centimeters cubed to inches cubed, which is saying centimeter, centimeter, centimeter to inch,
Inch. Kind of like, yeah. Isn't there some kind of story about that?
There is.
Foot.
Yeah, foot. There's a rabbit. 3 rabbits. Ask me in class. I'll tell you
Okay.
the foot story.
So now I get, I'm done with inch, which is an inch cubed. So
Yes.
now I'm going to take 44.
44.
Divided by.
Divided by.
2.54.
2.54.
Divided by.
Divided by.
2.54.
2.54.
Divided by.
Divided.
2.54.
1,
Equals.
2, 3, got 'em. 2.69.
2.69.
My calculator says 2.68504474.
That's not right. 44 divided by 2
Oh!
divided by 2 divided by 2.
Yeah, 44 divided
Oh,
by
that sounds right.
2.54.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that'll be inches
Oh,
cubed.
but we only want 2 sig figs.
So we'll say
44.
2.7 inches cubed.
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right, let's do another one. How
Yeah.
about foot cubed to micrometers?
Micrometers. cubed.
Micrometers
Wow.
cubed. Oh, my.
Okay.
All right, 0.
It's not hard, it's just-
0.0065 feet,
Foot.
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 Now,
He's gonna have to write small.
I need to convert feet to
Feet to
centimeters.
Yeah, feet to centimeters, and then centimeters to
Meters.
probably meters, and then meters to micrometers. You could probably go centimeters to micrometers, but I don't know what that conversion is.
I can't do it with that one. No, I don't
No.
know that. So foot. So I'm going to go from foot to centimeter.
Okay.
Now we have that
We
conversion
do. It's 30
somewhere.
point something.
Yeah, 30.48 inches
in 1 foot. That's not right. 34.48 centimeters. That's incorrect. We need to fix that.
Yeah, we got to fix our arterial. That's centimeters. Yep. Okay. All right, that's good.
I'm going to make myself a note.
We'll do it right now. 1 foot is 1 foot. Is 30.48 centimeters. Now I've got to do this 3 times, right? 30.48 centimeters in 1 foot. 30.48 centimeters in 1 foot. So my foot cancels.
Foot. Now we're in centimeter.
Now I'm going to do centimeters to meters.
Right.
Now, what's that?
Well, there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter.
Yeah. You've got to know what centi means. Centi means 1/100.
Like cents. There's 100 cents in a dollar.
That's right. I'm going to try and fit this in the first line, and 100 centimeters. Okay. Now my centimeters cancel. This is a long problem. Mr. Bergman picked this.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we still got to keep going.
We're going to bring it down here a little bit.
And so now I want to go to micrometers. So I have
so
meters on the top.
to micrometers.
So meters to micrometers. And there's 1,000,000, or 10 to the 6th, micrometers in a meter. Now, how do I know that? There's that conversion.
It's on the table, the metric table.
So 10 to the 6 micrometers in a meter. And lastly, 10 to the 6 micrometers in 1 meter. Now, this one's going to be tricky on the calculator.
It is. I was just thinking of that. But I got it. I got to figure it out.
So 0.0065.
Okay.
Watch him as he types this in.
0.0065.
Times 30.48 times 30.48 times 30.48 divided by 100 divided by 100 divided by 100 times. Now, this one, 10 to the 6th, is actually 1 times 10 to the 6th. So you're going to type in 1e6, or double E, whatever, times 1e6 times 1e6 equals. Be a big number.
Oops, I missed something. I typed an L for some reason. Hang on. Just a minute.
Well, watch as he makes his corrections.
EE. Oh, good grief. What am I doing? Sorry. Let's try this again. 1, second EE, 6. There we go. That's good. Okay. Enter. How many sig figs do I want?
2.
1.8 E14.
Okay, and the units on that would be micrometer cubed.
Yep.
Wow. That makes sense.
You didn't finish canceling your units.
Oh, did I forget to cancel? Oh, my meters. I forgot to cancel my meter, and I got micrometer, which is micrometer cubed.
Yay.
All right. Boy,
right.
that was ugly.
Oh, speaking of ugly.
Speaking of ugly, this is probably one of the classic ugly problems. Okay.
If you can do this, you can do anything.
Yes.
You are
So 4.5, it's in slashy, so I'm going to write pound, no slashies.
No slashies.
For 1 foot.
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 4.5 pounds per
Now,
foot.
I got to go from pounds to grams. I can do that.
that's an easy, that's a
just a
one-stepper.
one-stepper, so let's do that. Pound to gram. There's 454 grams in a pound.
Okay.
Pounds cancel. Now to get feet to centimeter.
We can go foot to centimeter.
We got the
30.48.
Yeah, let's
we
use
used
that
last time.
So actually, this isn't so bad.
No, that's easy.
You can say 1 foot is 30.48 centimeters.
And that
right?
gets rid of one of the foots.
One of the foots goes away.
One of the feet? One of the foots.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But we're going to do it 3 times. 30.48 centimeters per foot.
Notice each
Foot.
time I write a number, I also write a unit.
Always.
Centimeters or foot. No naked
No
numbers.
naked numbers. We will look at you funny and say that is inappropriate for school if you show us.
Well, that would be
naked numbers.
grams. I think I got it. Grams per cubic
Grams
centimeter.
per centimeter.
So on the calculator,
All right,
Sam's
here we go.
4.5
4.5
times 454
454
divided by this 30.48 3 times. I bet you can figure that out.
30.48. 0.072
And that would be
grams
per
cubic centimeter.
centimeter cubed, which of course you can see in our wonderful box over here.